Hi, and welcome to Fall Prevention 101. My name is Lisa Hagerman,
And my name is Daisy Aldana.
and we are occupational therapy assistant students from St. Catherine University. What we'd like to talk to you today about is fall prevention. In the aging population, safety is a huge priority. And as healthcare professionals, it's our job to educate and pass along resources that we feel are necessary for the aging population. In this case today, we'd like to talk about fall prevention.
Okay, so let's begin. So right now we're going to be starting with our bingo game. And so at this moment, if we were in person, we'll be passing around different bingo games to our audience. And I'm going to go a bit over, what that would entail. Okay, so here's an example of our bingo game that we would give, to our audience. And a lot of these terms are related to what we'll be talking about, related to fall prevention, different risk factors, barriers, and strategies that one can do for fall prevention. So some examples would be like a home modification using grab bars in a bathroom. I know there's a lot of individuals who do have fear of falling, which I know some of them may express their concerns. Replace with non-movable chairs with armrests. These are not another type of modification. Pacing oneself, using a reacher instead of using a stepping stool, because that's another cause of individuals like falling. Clothes that do not drag. Annual vision checkups, shopping at less busy times. So these are different types of strategies that one could take, for fall prevention. So having these terms and words can help, implant these certain contexts for the audience. Okay.
The objectives of our presentation today are to increase awareness of falls and fall prevention. Many people don't understand the risk of a fall, especially to an aging adult, and they don't understand how the falls can actually be prevented in many ways. We also are going to talk about understanding the importance of fall prevention. Why do we need to make sure that home modifications are done or that the aging population is taking the precautions necessary? We're going to discuss identifying risk factors and conditions that contribute to falls. A lot of falls can be prevented, and just understanding what and how we can prevent them is very important, especially for the aging population. We'll be discussing fall prevention strategies. How can the aging population put these fall prevention techniques into place, into their daily lives, into their home, into every activity that they do? And we will also provide resources for fall prevention. For the aging population, there are so many resources that they can utilize, so many different avenues and additional help that they can get. So we're going to give you some additional resources today that is very helpful.
Okay, so now what is fall prevention? A fall is an event which results in a person coming to rest inadvertently on the ground or the floor or lower level. A fall can happen to anyone anytime, but practically dangerous for aging adults who suffer from a fall. So it's very important that we kind of educate ourselves a little bit about fall prevention, because not only for our safety, but it's also for our health as well, meaning that any kind of fall could jeopardize, like with a hip fracture, any lower back injuries, things that could prevent the aging population to, they're already going through their challenges themselves. So having any kind of fall could increase a bit more health conditions. So it's important that we kind of educate ourselves on ways we can prevent these falls, not only to, the aging adults, but also for their caregivers, family members, and friends.
How do falls affect aging? Well, falls, they're the leading cause of injury and death in adults over the age of 65 years old. Falls affect aging adults in many ways. There are so many different aspects of aging that you have to look at. You have to look at physiological factors, physical factors, as well as outside factors such as medications. So let's start by going over some statistics so we can get an idea of how falls really affect the aging adult.
Okay, so here are some statistics to go over as far as fall. About 3 million aging adults are treated in emergency rooms for fall-related injuries each year. More than 95% of hip fractures are caused from a fall, and around 300,000 aging adults are hospitalized each year due to the hip fractures, which is a very common, a cause of falls. Falls are the most common cause of traumatic brain injuries as well. 2 out of 4 aging adults fall each year, and 1 out of 5 falls would cause serious injuries such as a head injury or broken bones. Each year, an aging adult suffers a fall, and many falls could have been prevented. So, looking over these statistics, it's a very high number, unfortunately, but does not mean that we cannot lower these numbers by educating ourselves on fall prevention and try and prevent things such as hip fractures, traumatic brain injuries, broken bones, and head injuries, because a lot of these factors could jeopardize things that we do in our daily lives. So it's good that we are mindful of these statistics, but also to not be discouraged that even though these numbers are high, that we could continue with these, to have fall prevention strategies.
So fall prevention. Fall prevention refers to precautions that are taken to reduce the number of accidental falls that occur each year. Fall prevention encompasses education, home modifications, activity modifications, and training for healthcare staff. It also includes training for family members and clients themselves. There are many ways that employing a fall prevention program can help prevent falls and reduce the risk of injury. Aging adults are at a high risk of falls, and by taking the necessary precautions, the chances of a fall reduces dramatically. So prevention is very important to make sure that the client, as well as the healthcare staff and family members, understand that we can reduce these numbers of falls. Oftentimes, it's minor things in the client's life that will cause them to fall. So making and taking the precautions necessary, it enables the client to lead a healthier and safe life.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now let's go over a little bit more about the importance of fall prevention. Falls are a leading cause of injury and death among aging adults, so let's keep that in mind. It is one of the causes of injury and death of aging adults. Falls can decrease the quality of life and independence. Prevention is important to ensure the fall risks are decreased, that aging adults have the ability to remain as independent as possible. Fall prevention incorporates education, interventions to promote safe living for aging adults. So one thing to get out of this, I know there's a lot of information to kind of take in, but the importance of fall prevention is, you could think of 2 things: independency and safety. Safety, of course, is the number one thing, because we want to make sure that we take into account different types of strategies to prevent these falls and to decrease any kind of possible injuries. Yes, it may be difficult at times to kind of engrave all this information, but try to remember, like, when you're doing certain things, is what we're doing safe, right? So let's think about our safety first and foremost. Okay.
So now we'd like to talk about a checklist. So a fall prevention checklist is just some healthy reminders of keeping our environment, our homes, wherever we're at, safe. So one item is secure the floorboards and rugs to the ground using non-skid pads. A lot of the times, the flooring, whether it's a rug or floorboards from a hardwood floor, they can cause a trip hazard. One small wrinkle in a rug, or a rug that is not properly secured with a non-slip backing, can cause someone to trip and fall, and especially affects an aging adult that might already have balance or weakness issues. Another thing to look for is have the vision and hearing checked regularly. If someone cannot properly see their environment, they may not notice things such as a rug crumpled up on the floor, or they may not notice that they're going to bump into something and then subsequently cause them to fall. Another thing to look out for or to keep in mind is to keep emergency numbers in large print near their phone or sections of the home. This is a really good reminder for everyone to be mindful that, if something does happen, if an accident does occur, they need to know how they can get help right away.
Mhm.
We also need to be mindful and keep items within reach, such as food, dishes, and clothing. So if an aging adult who has issues with their dexterity and movement, they might be limited, and reaching for something might cause them to lose their balance and fall over. So keeping things close, such as items on the counter within reach, they're not doing a lot of unnecessary bending and stretching, which would cause them to lose their balance and then fall. We also want to make sure that the lighting in the home or the room or their environment is nice and well lit. In a dim environment, you are less likely to see items that are around you. You are less likely to see things that might be or cause you to be a fall risk. So keep in mind that the lighting in the rooms is very important, especially for an aging adult whose vision is already affected. We also want to make sure that we're practicing safety in areas of the house that are known to cause slips, such as the bathroom. So we want to make sure we place non-slip mats in showers or bathtubs. Also want to make sure we place them in the kitchen underneath the sink. When you're doing dishes, water can splash out. You might not realize it and you could slip and fall. The same as in the shower. If you're in the shower, you want a non-slip mat to make sure that your ground is stable, as well as when you step out of the shower or the bathtub, you want to have a non-slip mat. Again, you're wet, the client is wet. You want to make sure that you're not falling anywhere. So non-slip mats throughout the home where there might be water is very important.
Okay, just to continue on the checklist, another thing is to be mindful of your medication. Sometimes a medication may cause like drowsiness, may cause loss of balance or coordination. So it's good to talk to your physician just to get an idea of what the side effects of these medications are, because sometimes we're prescribed, we don't read the side effects, and that could cause a fall. Installing grab bars where it's needed. I think it's very important and crucial that the installing grab bars like in a bathroom, in the hallways, possibly in your bedroom if you need that extra support. In your home, that would help out to walk around, and also to kind of create that balance for you. Another thing, removing any clutter in the pathways of your home. So it's important that wherever you're walking on your daily routine, that there is a clear pathway, that there's no any kind of clutter on the ground, anything left, certain furniture or certain pillows on the ground. I mean, anything that could be a possible hazard in your way of walking around your home. And also I'm wearing shoes with traction, both inside, outside the house to avoid any kind of slipping. So if it's possible to have any kind of shoes with traction that supports for any kind of fall prevention, to be able to catch yourself or not even try to slip on, let's just say the floor was wet, the traction could help with preventing that as well. And another thing too is keeping yourself active to straighten your bones, improve your flexibility. So like any kind of form of exercise, whether it's just stretching, any kind of just like mobile walking, either with family or friends, just to kind of like, help your body get that muscle memory and maneuver your way around your home would be really, really helpful. Okay.
So what we want to do here is show you some common things around a home that could be a risk for falls. So let's take a moment. We're going to look at the image here. So in this image, it shows a typical living room and hallway with stairs. And there are many items in this room that can cause, or that could be a cause for a fall. So we want to look at this picture. We want to identify the safety hazards. We want to see, okay, what in this room could cause a fall? And then we are going to discuss how we can take that precaution so there's not a fall and to make the environment safer for the client.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So then a couple examples that we would point out, it would be like, for example, the loose cords right here. That the pet, either dog or cat, maybe, playing around with it, which makes it, so it's important to have cords like against the wall or pinned against the wall, so there will be any fall prevention. Another thing too for safety, you see the clothes here atop of the heater. That's like another type of fire hazard. Here are more cords. Another thing to keep in mind is also the rug here at the bottom. And the stairs where you see like the bookcases that they're on the stairs. The medication cabinet's a bit unorganized. So organized now would be helpful. Another kind of fire hazard would be the coffee maker. So a couple of things here, or even with the fire alarm right here, that's another thing to keep mindful of, like, any kind of fire hazard. So a bit of organization, removing the clutter, removing kind of cords, using non-slip mats could be really helpful to changing the environment, making it more clear and also safe for the individual.
So what we'd like to do now is also talk about how we can identify factors within the home. So this is a common stairway. So what is wrong? What do we see wrong in this picture? You can see the portions that are labeled 1, 2, and 3. So there are a couple risk factors for falls, and then we can talk about how we can fix them. So the first part of the stairway is, in the first picture, there were no handrails. So especially for an aging adult, being able to have a handrail and provide some stability, it will assist the client in walking up and down the stairs. The second thing is making sure the stairway is clear. Clutter can be a huge risk for someone to fall. They can bump into it on their way down the stairs and therefore trip down the stairs. The third item is the lighting, making sure that the area is well lit. So an adult that's walking down the stairs is able to safely ambulate down. They can hold on to the handrail. They know that the stairs are clear. They're not going to bump into anything. They also know that their area is well lit. They'll be able to see every move that they make and make it down safely.
Okay, so now let's take a look at the living room. So what is wrong with the living room? We could see at number 1, there's a rug. And then number 2, you see like how kind of like the flooring is. And number 3, you see the couch with like a knitting basket. So let's see how we could try to modify the living room to make it safe. So number 1 would be removing or secure rugs. So you see how the rug is no longer here. So either you remove the rug or find a non-skid mat that would help that. Also the hidden the cords. So before there were some cords on the floor, and the room's a bit organized. You see how the knitting basket was right here. And then we moved it to the corner here where it's away from, the walkway.
Okay, so another common room in the house is the bathroom. Now, many falls can be prevented in the bathroom by simply making some modifications. So we have a standard toilet here that doesn't really provide any support for an aging adult that might need some additional stability. We have a bath mat that may or may not have a non-skid backing, so we want to make sure that we take that precaution as well. And then the tub itself, again, there's no stability for the client. So what is wrong in this picture? What can we do? So to modify the bathroom, first of all, we can install grab bars. We can install the grab bars near the shower, in the shower, as well as near the toilet. This will provide the client the stability that they need to be able to either transfer in and out of the bathtub and transfer on and off of the toilet. Another good idea to have in the bathroom is a nightlight that automatically turns on to increase visibility. So if you're using the restroom in the middle of the night, having a light that's automatic, it'll bright up your space before you even enter the room so they can see. Another idea is a bath mat. Bath mats are necessary to have outside the tub for spillage and because you're wet, but they have specific bath mats that are meant for the bathroom that have non-skid backing and that will prevent slips and falls from the wet conditions. Another item is the assistive equipment in the shower. In this case, we have a shower bench as well as the long-handled shower hose. So if a client is unstable and a fall risk of having either weakness of their body or just balance difficulties, if they're sitting in the shower, it decreases the ability or that they're going to fall. So, and then the long handled shower hose is so that they can reach and shower themselves without having to stand up and move around, because standing up, if they're unstable, does increase their chance of falling.
So now we can take a look at the kitchen. You see the cabinets filled with kitchen materials there. You see pet feeding pots and the rugs. So let's take a look at what could be changed or what's wrong with this image. Okay, so organization is a big thing, as we mentioned earlier. That's important to have things organized and also reachable. It's a good thing that everything's organized here. Another modification I would suggest is maybe having, like, containers here at the bottom for plates or, ingredients, things that are reachable that you won't have to, use a stepping stool or reach too far. That could possibly lead to a fall. Removing secure rugs here. So obviously using a non-skid mat would be recommended. Pet dishes should be placed somewhere else where that you won't trip over it, like as you're not remembering that the pet trays are there by you while you're washing dishes and so forth. And just making sure items are reachable. So that's an important factor as well. Okay, so we're just going to go over a couple of resources. The first one will be Rebuilding Together, which is a nonprofit organization that revitalize communities to make them safe and more accessible. Something that the program offers provides non-cost preventive home modifications to aging adults, designed to improve aging in place and increasing independency, providing home repairs to decrease safety fall hazards, provides home modifications such as installing grab bars, handrails, improving lighting. And if you want some more information, please feel free to visit rebuildtogether.org.
Another resource is a program that's actually offered for aging adults, and it is geared toward fall prevention. It is called A Matter of Balance. So in this 8-week program, adults will learn how to modify their environment to prevent falls. So the pictures that we just showed you, all of the clients are going to learn how to look at their environment and how to make the necessary changes that they need, such as the non-skid mats and the grab bars. They will also learn how to reduce fall risk factors in their daily lives. So just waking up in the morning, they'll understand the importance of taking their time to get out of bed, using additional supports if they need to, if they have balance difficulties. So they'll learn all the different ways that they can go through their day and minimize their fall risk. They'll also learn how to exercise to improve their strength and balance. When the body is weak, it's more likely to be a fall risk because you're unstable. You don't have the balance, you don't have the strength to remain upright and to be stable. So it's very important for aging adults to understand that they need to continue to strengthen themselves. And there are certain exercises that the aging adults can learn to improve their strength and to improve their balance, which decreases their chance of being a fall risk. Another another outcome of the Matter of Balance program is that the clients will learn how to set goals to increase their activity levels. So they are not only learning how to do the exercises or what exercises to do, they are learning how to incorporate those exercises into their daily lives to keep them active, to keep them functioning, and to keep their risk of falling very minimal. To learn more about the Matter of Balance program, you can go to healthyagingassociation.org.
Okay, and some other two great resources, AARP, which is a home fit guide publication, which is a fully illustrated guide to modify home for a person to make it age friendly. There's also home fit videos and app, videos and mobile that provides information on home modifications for aging. And number 4 is a National Council on Aging, which falls free initiative resources for professionals as used for advocacy awareness, educational initiatives, reducing falls among aging adults. And the website is ncoa.org for more information. Okay, and I just want to say thank you everybody for your attention. And if you have any questions or any kind of want more information about anything else, feel free to contact myself, Daisy Aldana, and Lisa for any kind of information. Hope everybody has a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.